John Roskam, what do you think about decoupling the voice from simple constitutional recognition, as Ben put to the Prime Minister there? Is that part of the way to get ourselves out of what is turning into be an ongoing disaster as we head toward this referendum?
Well, that's a great segue, Steve, from Daniel Andrews into Anthony Albanese. Look, you're right. The referendum looks like it's going to fail. Listening to Anthony Albanese today as Prime Minister was nearly as bad as listening to a Dan Andrews press conference. I think Ben Fordham is right. Australian support, recognition, absolutely. But when the Prime Minister says he's going to ignore the voice after he had said a few months earlier that, of course, the voice has to be listened to, after he refuses to give us an election date, after he refuses to answer the most basic questions, the Prime Minister is going to have to back down. But for me, what's interesting is you don't see his colleagues rallying behind him. This is Anthony Albanese's all on his own. If he fails, you can see Jim Chalmers and everyone starting to line up behind him.
Caleb, what I got confused about today in that same radio interview, you had the Prime Minister telling Fordham that, oh, well, it'd be a brave government who didn't listen to the voice if it came up with an idea. And then when Ben asked him about Australia Day and said, oh, what about if the voice says we want you to cancel Australia Day, he goes, well, I'm not going to do that. How do those two things marry up?
Well, he's so far on the back foot here that the back foot's got calluses on it and he can't even use his front foot at this point in time. And I'll tell you the one difference between an Anthony Albanese interview and a Daniel Andrews interview. It's that Daniel Andrews doesn't give interviews, so he doesn't put himself in this position. And Albanese really showed himself up this morning on multiple points, that being one of them. He's contradicted himself multiple times on how the voice will operate. I mean, he said it would be a brave government that didn't take the advice of the voice, and he says, well, it doesn't matter, we don't want to change Australia Day, then that's the end of it. But we know that we potentially open ourselves up to High Court challenges and the rest of it if the advice of the voice is ignored, so he can't say that with any certainty. And then he's accusing Ben Fordham of doing things that he wasn't doing. I mean, Ben Fordham's reading him a number of quotes from proponents of the voice who were on his referendum working committee, just telling him what they think about how it should operate. And Albanese's saying, oh, well, you're just reading that from the No pamphlet. And Ben's had to pull him up and say, no, I'm not reading it from the No pamphlet. I'm just reading you things that your people have said. He obviously knows that that is a threat to the success of the voice, and he can't hack it. From this point, if not even the Prime Minister can give a cogent and sensible interview on the voice to Parliament, it's cooked.
John, help me get my head around this. We see Jason Clare at the press club today. He announces that the Albanese government is going to get taxpayers to hand universities cash to enrol every Indigenous student